What is going on, you guys? Steven here. Today I'm bringing you guys a brand new video. Today we're going to be taking a look at the classic Army EC2 with the programmable electronic control system, the ECS. If you guys are interested in purchasing this after you see this video, the link will be in the description where you guys can go ahead and pick this up for around $185. However, before we get into this review, I want to give a huge shout out to my friends over at Vikings War of Clans. If you guys enjoyed the old school strategy and RPG games of the 90s and early 2000s just as I did, you gotta check out Vikings. With unique nation versus nation battles, it's totally up to you on how you conquer your enemies. For example, if you know how to manage people, you can be a clan leader and reign your empire. If you have a killer instinct, you can totally just annihilate your enemies. Or, if you're an economist by heart, you can use your skills to build a magnificent and prosperous city. And one thing that I absolutely love about this game though, you guys, is that it's constantly getting updates. It's not like just a game that was created, it was put out to the public, and then the creators or whatever, they forget about it. No, this game is constantly getting updates. It has been placed on the top 5 charts, and I think it has over 20 million players. Alright, that's just crazy. Anyways though, go ahead and install the game now using my link in the description, and you will get 200 gold for free and an initial protection shield. Anyways, with all that being said, let's go ahead and get into this review. So first, I want to give a huge thanks to Classic Army for going ahead and providing this for me to do a video on. Classic Army, thank you so much for sending this out to me. I really do appreciate it. Now, I know what you're thinking. You're probably thinking, Steven, didn't you already review the EC2, and wasn't that video titled Best Beginner Airsoft Gun? Yes, it was. Alright, so why am I doing this again? Well, it's the revamped version. This is the newest EC2, alright? They made some changes to it, such as the motor grip, and one huge change, like what I said in the very beginning of the video, the ECS, the programmable electronic control system. Basically, what's right here with the, the motor grip and the ECS, it's coming straight from their Nemesis series, alright? Those higher end guns. So we have basically the same EC2, and then take that one component from the Nemesis and throw it in here as well, and now you get this complete package, and that's why it's a little bit more than the original EC2. The original EC2 was like 165, this is 185, so 20 bucks more, but I think it's well worth it. Anyways, with that being said, let's go ahead and break this down. I'm going to start from the front, work our way to the back. I'm going to talk about the externals first. I'm then going to talk about the internals, that's where all the good stuff is, and then we'll go outside, alright, and that's when the fun begins. I'm going to start shooting it, alright, I'll show you guys the trigger response, I'll show you the flight path of the BBs, I'll obviously do the chrono test, the accuracy test, as well as the damage test, and then we'll wrap the video up from there. Anyways though, let's go ahead and get into this. So starting at the front of the gun here, we do have our orange flash hider. This you can obviously remove, put a suppressor, a different flash hider, whatever you want. Moving behind that though, we do have a full metal outer barrel, and moving even further, we get into this beautiful key mod rail system. It's just absolutely fantastic. And yes, the gun does come with 2 rail segments out of the box, so you can go ahead and mount them wherever you want to place any accessories. Going up to the top rail here, we do have this really long rail segment, just like any other M4. You can put a red dot, a scope, again, totally up to you. But at the front of the gun here, we do have our front iron sight, which is adjustable. Obviously, you can go ahead and flip it down or up. I'm just going to leave it up. And the same goes with the rear iron sight. The rear iron sight can obviously do the same. It's adjustable, has 2 different apertures as well. Regardless though, they are the same sights as they were on the original EC2. Anyways, so getting into the center of the gun now, we have our upper and lower receivers. They are both made out of polymer. Again, guys, this is a completely polymer gun besides some of the parts obviously being metal. I'll make sure to, I'll name those when I go over them. So first off, the dust cover. The dust cover is metal. The charging handle is metal. Let's go ahead and pull that back. That will reveal your blue rotary style hop up. Very, very nice. And then we have that fake bolt that moves back and forth too. I wish they did include a bolt catch, and then you could have an actual like functioning bolt release. But you can only get so many things within $185. But yeah, so there are those 2 things. Next up, we have the mag release. It is just a standard, M4 metal mag release, nothing too crazy. And then here we have a standard high cap M4 mag, trap door on the top. What's it called, wind up wheel on the bottom. Again, just a standard 300 round high cap mag. Go ahead and put the magazine back in, and that's one thing I do want to mention though, you guys, is listen. Quite a bit of mag wobble. If you want to go ahead and fix that, simple solution, just take some electrical tape and wrap it around the top here, or whatever. There, I was pointing on the back, you can't see. But yeah, just take some electrical tape, just wrap it around, and do one wrap around, and then put it in and see if it works. If it's not, it's still like wobbling, do a second wrap, put it in, do a third wrap. Don't just start wrapping it like crazy, because then it'll get too thick, and then it won't even like go inside the gun anymore. So just, trial and error basically. Moving behind the mag wheel though, we are going to get into our trigger now, which is right here, as well as our trigger guard. Both are full metal, which is nice. And I want to point out something. Take a listen. Ready? Hold on. Ready? Listen. Do you guys hear that little switch? That little like almost mouse click? That's something the what's it called, the EC2 didn't have. You know, with the MOSFET, the EC2 had the MOSFET, but with this ECS, and you can program this thing for what, 3 and 5 round burst. You have that little click now, and you can almost feather this trigger. The original EC2 had that trigger reset, the little, you can hear the click each time you let the trigger go forward and then you pull it back. This, you can just basically, as fast as you can move your finger, the trigger will keep up with it. Anyways, moving back now to the motor grip. This is also new. This comes with the ECS, this new motor grip. This is coming from the Nemesis, as I mentioned. It has that golf ball type of texture going on, if you guys can see that. Hopefully the lights aren't too bright, but yeah, I think you can see it. Oh, my shadow, there you go. The shadow really makes it stand out. But yeah, we have that or whatever. It's way better than a standard M4, what's called motor grip. Those really skinny ones that have those rough edges. This is nice, bulky, smooth. It's a lot better. Moving behind that though, we do have our rear sling attachment points. If you guys can see that, my index finger here, can you see that right there, that little like triangle thing sticking out? And then on this side we have those two right there, right where my thumb is. So 1 and 2. Hopefully that's in focus. I apologize if you couldn't really see that. Moving though beyond that, we are getting into the end of the gun here. So we have our metal buffer tube, and then we have our retractable stock right here, and obviously this is where your battery is going to be stored. And I might as well just go ahead and pop this open for you guys. Just go ahead and do that. And while I'm doing this, I guess I can kind of start talking about the internal. So starting with the rear here, this gun is wired to Deans right out of the box. So I highly recommend you guys to use an 11-1 wired to Deans. If you guys can see this right here, let me back up a little bit. Right there, wired to Deans. And what's nice though is if you don't have an 11-1 wired to Deans and you don't want to spend the money to do that, and you just have a 11-1 wired to, you know, normal to me or whatever, it comes with this adapter. All right, so you don't have to like go out and spend more money to get the right battery. Obviously, if you don't have an 11-1 wired to Deans, I would highly recommend you to go ahead and make the switch and do that. But if you don't, again, it comes with the adapter, so it's totally up to you. And just make sure whatever 11-1 you do get, that it fits in this type of stock, obviously, because you only have so much battery space. And actually, I will show you which battery you should use. Hold on, give me 1 second. Here we go. All right, so I just got the battery. This is what I would recommend. This Valken 11-1 1200 milliamp butterfly style or nunchuck style battery. It's obviously wired to Deans, and so I would highly recommend you guys to pick one of these up, or if you have anything else that fits in here, you don't have to get exactly this, but this one definitely works really well. So I kind of started talking about the internals a little bit with obviously the wiring and it being wired to Deans and stuff like that, but getting into the actual real internals now with the gearbox and such. It is a version 2 full metal gearbox with 9mm bushings. It comes with a 6.03 Type 4 inner barrel. It comes with a quick change spring feature. It comes with a MOSFET, which protects your trigger contacts. And then it also comes with, which is new, the ECS, as obviously I mentioned, the programmable electronic control system, which enables you or allows you to program this thing for semi, what's it called, 3-round burst, full auto, 5-round burst, full auto, semi, 3-round burst, and stuff like that. You could just do so many different, you know, options and combinations, and just basically you could do it to whatever your liking is. All right, so speaking about the ECS, I went ahead and said, screw it, let me just show you guys how this thing actually works. So I went ahead and plugged in my 11-1. So if you want to go ahead and do this, just go ahead, flip the gun to semi. All right, pull the trigger and hold it. Ready? Hold it. Wait. Hold on. Semi, full auto. Semi. That's full auto. Click the trigger. Semi. Okay, I thought it beeped twice, but no, that's semi, 3-round burst. Click the trigger again, 3-round burst, full auto. Hear that? So you can just hear by the clicks, or the, you know, whatever it's called, you know what I mean. Click it again, 5-round burst, full auto. Click it again, semi, so you can turn into a DMR. And then semi, full auto. So yeah, basically you can just go through all the options, pick whichever one you want. Man, that's annoying. And if you want to lock that in place, go ahead and flip the fire or selector switch to full auto. Okay, so I would like to mention though, let me just grab the magazine. I'd like to mention though, that depending on the model that you get, you can also get one with a flat trigger. Oh my God, those look absolutely amazing. But the ones that come with the flat trigger, I think they also only come with a RIS rail system, like a RIS rail system, just a standard old rail system. system with rail covers. I don't think I've seen one that has a flat trigger with the key mod. I could be wrong, but a lot of these places online are already sold out on this because it's just so popular, and you know, the demand is so high for these things because they are a steal, you guys. The internals, the performance is unbelievable for $185. Anyways, with all that being said, you guys, I talked about everything. I talked about the internals, all right? I talked about the externals. I went over everything with you. Let's go ahead and get into the fun stuff. I know this is what you're here for. Let's go outside and start shooting this thing. Alright, so let's go ahead and get into this chrono test. So I have the chrono here set up for .20s. I got the magazine loaded up for .20s. Make sure it's all loaded up and ready to go. Let's go ahead and see how hot this guy is shooting. So shot number 1, 348, 345, 349, 348, 347, 349, 352, 347. That one did not read. 351, 349, 348, and 350. So this thing is pretty damn consistent. Basically 345 to 350 FPS, and that's exactly what they advertise. They say this thing should be shooting like 340 to 350, and that's what you're gonna get. All right, so let's go ahead and flip this thing to full auto, and let's see how fast this guy is shooting. Remember, you guys, I'm using an 11.1 wired to Dean. So here we go. Rounds per second, let's see. 24.1, oh my God. 24.3. and 24.7, almost 25 rounds per second on that last burst. All right, so on average, I would say this is shooting around 24.5 BBs per second. All right, so what is that per minute? You're getting close to 1,500 rounds per minute, you guys. That's absolutely insane. Anyways, with that being said, let's go ahead and get into the accuracy test. Guys, I have not touched the hop up at all, and I used 0.20 gram BBs. I was probably around 55-60 feet, so not like super far, but you know, a pretty good distance, especially if you're going to be using this for CQB, because this is shooting below 350 or around 350. You can definitely use this for outdoors, though. Remember, you guys, that was around, again, 60 feet, somewhere around there. Not, you know, I can't be, you know, totally sure, but my hand is the size of this target, and I was able to hit that from 55-60 feet, somewhere around there. If this was a full person, you have no problem hitting them whatsoever. But regardless, though, very happy with the result. Holy shit. And the lens is completely drenched. All right, you guys, so I just came back from being inside, cleaning everything up, my camera, the lens. It was so drenched, it was crazy. Look at my tripod, for example. Look at that, my camera's sitting right there, and soda is just everywhere. So yeah, but the can, though, completely shredded. Just absolutely made this thing into Swiss cheese. This thing shoots so freaking fast. Absolutely amazing. Whew. let me just settle back in here. Man, it is hot as shit outside you guys right now in Los Angeles. It's getting hot, summertime. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this review. This thing is a freaking beast. Classic Army, you guys have done it once again. Your products never lack, all right? They're always top notch, especially the performance and the internals. Regardless of that though, again, I know I've said this like a billion times, I'm in love with this thing. I love the EC2s, all right? This is definitely one of the best beginner airsoft guns out there. One of the best airsoft guns in general, not even maybe a beginner's gun, just a just an airsoft gun in general for sub $200, all right? It checks all the boxes. Besides maybe if you just like your guns being full metal, but in that case there's really not much you can do about that. Just go with the Nemesis. Anyways, you guys, I think that covers everything. Thank you all so much for watching this video. Again, Classic Army, thank you for sending this out to me. You guys hit it out of the park on this one. So with all that being said though, you guys, thank you all so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. I hope you guys enjoyed, but until next time, I will see you guys in the next one.